Yo, what's up, everyone? This is Kaizouwar here. Final Fantasy Tactics is back. Like when I was growing up, I never really was into tactical games. I wasn't really into Final Fantasy Tactics either. I didn't really get into the series until I started playing Tactics on the Game Boy, Tactics Advance, and then I played Grimoire the Rift, which was the sequel to Tactics Advance on the DS. And I didn't really wasn't into those games personally. I just played them because I like the art style, right? I'm not very good at tactical games. I think there's been one, well, technically two, but one series that I've actually two series. If you want to count Fire Emblem, yeah, that's one series. But I'm talking about the Devil Survivor games from Shin Megami Tensei. Those were probably the only tactical games that and Fire Emblem were the only ones I actually stuck with because they had something in those games that keep my interest. And when I played Tactics later, I wasn't really fond of Tactics like everyone else is. A lot of people love Tactics. It's like one. You're always going to hear Tactics brought up when someone's talking about Final Fantasy, right? If they're making a tier list about, oh, it's my favorite mainline Final Fantasy games, they're going to find a way to shove Tactics in there somehow. It only makes sense. The story is very beloved. Gameplay, I don't know. It's always about the story. No one really talks about the actual in-between gameplay. The only thing I've heard about from people say about the gameplay is that Tactics is hard. And Tactics is hard. That's why I've never finished that game. That game, I don't know if I don't know if it was at a time where I wasn't good at those type of games, but goddamn, Tactics was not fun to play to me personally. Tactics was not fun to me to play. I did enjoy it. I kept going for the story, but gameplay-wise, I just didn't stick around with it until the end. So, but it's my second chance to play it. It was years and years ago, and I haven't played Tactics since. So now with this new release, I'm about to say collection. And the only reason I say collection, I was about to say collection, is because not only they have the remastered game, right? They have the remastered game with a new graphical style. It's not really too new, but with a new graphical style and voice acting, which is cool. They also have the original release that came out on PS1, which I have never seen. I think there's been only a couple examples I've ever seen where a game does that, where you could still play the original game alongside the new one, which I really think more games should do that. I feel like there's no reason to do so because, okay, they want to sell you the remaster or whatever. But I feel like if you already have access to the source code and all that kind of stuff to the original version of the game, I feel like you might as well just release that too. Why not? I mean, how much space is it going to take on the disc or cartridge or whatever, right? How much space is that going to take up, right? For example, let's say I was going to remaster, I don't know, an old game. I don't know, Pokemon Emerald, right? Pokemon Emerald, I remastered that. It'll look all completely new with the it'll have a different graphical style with the sprites and stuff like that. But it's still the same game, right? Why can't I not just release the original Emerald alongside that remastered one? I mean, it's not going to hurt anybody. If people really want to be pure about the original release and they still want to play that, but they also have the new one with the all the new bells and whistles and stuff like that, voice acting, all that crap, they should be able to release both. I really think that this should be a common practice, a common standard, because I don't feel like every remaster of a game should just be that. You know what I mean? Because I get kind of angry when they release games and they have the music, right? Their music gets remastered, but they don't have the original soundtrack in there, which sometimes when they remaster games and do new soundtracks, I don't like them. I don't like them as much. I don't really do. Remakes, remasters, whatever, right? It depends on how different the game is, right? I'm using Persona 3 Reload as an example. The game looks better, the game sounds with voice acting, I like it. But the music is the one thing that pisses me off about that remake, and I would prefer they put the original soundtrack. The game doesn't even have enough in it to justify not having the original soundtrack, outside of compression. But they've released that soundtrack and everything. But anyway, that's beside the point. I started going on a long tangent. I'm not talking about Tactics anymore. But anyway, I'm super happy to see Tactics here because now I get to play it again. I could have always emulated it. I'm gonna be real about that one, but I just never had the urge to play Tactics. I've been hearing a lot about it recently though, because I've been seeing a bunch of YouTube channels actually started randomly playing Tactics, and then this gets announced, which I never really watched what they were playing. I just kept scrolling by. I was like, oh yeah, this Tactics, that's nice and everything. But yeah, super excited for Tactics. I am really, really glad to see it. And on top of that, it's being headed by Creative Business. I'm not saying it right now. Creative Business Studio 3 were the same people behind Final Fantasy 14 and Final Fantasy 16. And it only makes sense that they would be the ones to do this. It feels like A new Tactics would feel like something that side of Square would do, and I think that's crazy. Don't know what this says for other games in the future. Like I do want to see like stuff like Tactics Advance and Tactics 8-2 get like put on remastered, or better yet, just port it over to a console, like maybe the Tactics Collection or whatever. I don't know. I really hope to see that. Hopefully, I feel like I know a lot of people don't like Tactics Advance or 8-2. I get it, fair enough, right? It's always about the OG Tactics people like, but I would prefer those to also be remastered as well. It would just only make sense. I would prefer more games to be remastered, because again, those you can only play those on Game Boy and DS, which a lot of people don't have nowadays, and people are missing out on a part of Square Enix history by not being able to play those games. But that's all I really wanted to say. There's not much I can say. It's Tactics, so there's not. I don't play the games, and I haven't played Tactics enough to even like figure out what my words could be on the subject. So yeah, super excited to see Tactics. Hopefully that opens the door for more remaster of other games. Like I know Square Enix has been remastering a lot of their games, but they still have a huge back catalog of stuff they haven't like remastered yet, or remade yet. So I'm definitely hoping to see more of those.